Good afternoon, Seawolves, and welcome to this week's edition of Stony Brook Sports Break. I'm Jim Ferchland. Now we're going to go and turn it over to another fall sport whose season is coming to an end this week, and that's football. It was senior day for the Seawolves. There's long snapper Kevin Fennell hugging his dad Martin, and there's Tim Keith getting some love from Coach Priori. We're going to jump to the first quarter. Maine driving up the field. Running back Josh Mack will take care of the rest from 12 yards out. Maine strikes 7-0, and the comeback kids' efforts stopped there. The score would remain the same, and Stony Brook loses their last home game of the season, 27-21. And with that loss, Stony Brook is eliminated from playoff contention for a third straight year.
Their disappointing loss with Columbia. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Chris. Now we'll get into men's soccer. Stony Brook hosting number 5 Hartford. The Seawolves defeated Hartford already this season, but the Red Hawks had other plans. Here's Mike Berry with a nice cross to the middle for Hartford, and it finds the feet of Jerry Triron. But Stony Brook's Tom McMahon says, "Not in my net." He makes the tremendous save. Seawolves lost their first 4 games of the season, and in non-conference play, they went 5-9. But they astonished the America East by going 12-4 in conference play. And March 1st is the quarterfinals, and they are set to play Binghamton at home. And it's always a tough matchup when Stony Brook hosts Binghamton. Controversy is swirling around the Department of Theater Arts. Department Chair John Lutterby informed students in an email last week that Theater Arts will suspend admissions for any new students. Lutterby stated that theater arts minors and majors will graduate with their degrees, but the department will eventually become a service-only program, and many faculty will be fired as a result. All right, Kevin DiCaprio, that 25-yard field goal, what was going through your mind before it was even going to go?
Just everything was going through my mind. I knew if our defense got back on the field, we weren't going to let up another point. I was just trying to kick it straight through.
In a typically male-dominated industry, a Long Island female iron worker is breaking boundaries. Our reporter Taylor Alessi has more. By Garden City standards, 4 years without a county championship seems like an eternity, and that's exactly what we're staring the Trojans in the face. If they didn't get past Cary today, our News 12 report starts with the Nassau Conference 2 title game. The Seahawks beat Garden City in 2 of the last 3 finals, and Dan Conti gives them an early 7-0 lead. But then Stony Brook Athletic Director Sean Hilbrun announced on November 30th that Coley Palakowski was relieved of her coaching duties as head coach of the women's volleyball team. Palakowski spent 4 years as the leader of the program, finishing her career with a 53-73 record after the 2016 campaign yielded an 8-21 final result. This season, the Seawolves snapped their streak of 3 straight America East postseason appearances, and Stony Brook did not make the conference championship under Palakowski and has never won its tournament in program history. Claudia's son, Christopher, suffers from severe epilepsy and is required to always have a family member or healthcare worker accompany him during workouts. New York State Attorney General Schneiderman was in favor of Seattle's complaint and reached an agreement with LA Fitness that will grant free access to all the medically disabled in all 29 LA Fitness locations in New York, including this one in Center Reach.
But on a positive note, the baseball team won all 4 of its games against Sacred Heart this weekend, so that's a big sweep.
Yeah, well, baseball has been dominant, but I hear you are very dominant with Pac-Man.
Well, I know I'm supposed to be objective in this field. I'm not supposed to throw my opinions out there, but yes, I am very dominant. Galaga, too. Love Galaga. Great game.
All right. So let's take a look at a surprise arcade feature from our very own Chris Gain.
I'm Abigail Wolfenberger.
And I'm Jim Ferchland. On Friday, budget negotiators struck a deal to make tuition free for New York State institutions of public higher education. The Excelsior Scholarship proposed by Governor Andrew Cuomo in January will cover tuition for any New Yorker accepted to one of the state's community colleges or four-year universities like Stony Brook.
Hopefully my guys get the win and then we can celebrate.
And celebrate they did. The Binghamton Bearcats usually played the Seawolves tough, and they attempted to spoil Stony Brook's senior night. Early in the first half, it's Tim Rose dribbling and tries to pass to Marlon Beck. And speaking of seniors, it's Cameron Mitchell getting the steal. He slams it down with 2 hands. Stony Brook goes up 4-2. Later on in the half, Seawolves sharing the ball. It's Lucas Woodhouse to UC Aregbu to Roland Niyama, back to Aregbu, back to Woodhouse, who dishes it back to Aregbu, and splash. Seawolves up 11-7. Next play, Binghamton answers. Yasif Yakub trying to make a play. He feeds it to John Rinaldi. He drives right and finds Dusan Perovic, and he responds right back with the 3. Ensuing possession for Stony Brook, it's Woodhouse back to that guy Iregbu, and look how pretty that stroke is. Money. Seawolves go up 4 again. Later on in the first, it's Lucas Woodhouse, and his teammate Junior Santel could jump very high. He slams it down. Stony Brook goes up 11. And it was pretty much all Stony Brook. Woodhouse again, this time to a wide open Akwasi Yaboa and trifecta. He led all scorers with 19. And how about one more time? Yaboa. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Seawolves would win easy 76-55 and prove to 12-2 in conference play. First quarter, Binghamton. It's Alyssa James getting by Stony Brook, Keena Smith, and she makes the left-handed layup. Bearcats go up 2. She finished with a triple-double. Closing seconds of the first quarter, it's Krista Scognamiglio to Lauren Williams to Corey Bain-Walker on the wing, and bang! She knocks it down from deep. Bearcats still winning. In the second now, it's Binghamton's Kai Moon with the strip, and Amani Watkins will take and finish the fast break. She was straight up balling in this one with 29 points, one shy of a career high. She went 12-24 shooting. Her career high is 30 versus UMBC. A couple of plays later, Bain-Walker drives right and finds Scognamiglio, who winds up and buries it from deep. She had a career high 22 points along with 6 threes. With 22 days left in the race for the White House, it's looking like Hillary Clinton will reach the finish line first. According to the national polls, Donald Trump has a diminishing chance of winning the 2016 election. In addition, polls show the Republican nominee trailing Hillary Clinton in every major swing state. Trouble is brewing at Starbucks. Some customers are outraged after the company made big changes to its loyalty rewards program. Starting in April, rewards will be based on spending. That means coffee lovers will have to dish out $63 before receiving a free item. One of those other sports, volleyball. State championships today. Smithtown West falls into their first ever state championship match. The Bulls losing to Penfield. But Eastport South Maynard has won the Division II state title. We'll have those highlights tonight at 10. So, 7 Malcolm, we're number 8.
Yeah.
That 42-yard touchdown, that was pretty something special, huh?
Yeah, I was always inspired by, my friend Chester. One-handed catches, I was just like, the ball's in the air, it's the back shoulder. I just had to try it.
Now, when you're making that catch or in the process of trying to retrieve that ball, were you thinking Odell Beckham?
Of course. I was like, oh my gosh. Just had to run. I felt shot just running through my body. It was pretty amazing.
It's been an incredible few weeks for Stony Brook's Jameel Warney. First, Warney had a dominating 43-point performance, which led the Seawolves to the NCAA tournament for the first time ever. Now, Warney has been named an Associated Press All-American for the second straight year. The Stony Brook forward is currently prepping for the NBA draft, and some experts predict he'll be drafted in the second round. Here with us in the studio is runner Cameron Avery. Thanks for being here, Cameron.
No problem, Jim. It's awesome to be here.
All right, so congratulations on winning the America East Championship. So what specifically did you guys do to get there? Suffolk Division II Finals, Hills West versus West Islip. First quarter, Gerald Filardi finds Cameron Jordan for 30 yards. It's 10-0 Hills. Then the dude on the ground, Davion Wright, the 11-yard touchdown, Colts out to a 17-0 lead. And then they really start to air it out. Second quarter, Filardi goes deep to Jordan. This one, a 59-yard score. It's 24-7 Colts. So we had a 30-yarder, a 59-yarder, and now how about an 88-yard touchdown to Jeff Terry? The Colts win their first county title, 38-20.
Kenneth P. Laval Stadium will be going for some changes as well. The stadium's north end zone is getting a makeover. Our reporter Jim Ferchland has the story.
Heilbronn stated that these seats would more than likely be done in the May of 2017. Currently, it's April, and so far, so good, we're in progress. And these seats are definitely going to bring some noise to next season for Stony Brook sporting events. All right, Dylan. This team just did not quit all game. Down 14-0 in the second quarter, you guys throw to a touchdown. Then you tie it with that 65-yard touchdown. How big was that momentum shift for West Islip?
Oh, it was huge. We had the play planned out all week, and we knew that we'd execute it when it came down to it.
It's almost time for Roth Regatta. Usually students win prizes after this campus event, but this year the race itself won an award. Jim Ferchland has more.
Roth Regatta happens once a year where thousands of students and faculty gather around the shores of Roth Pond on the last Friday of April to watch clubs, organizations, and administrative offices race across it in handcrafted boats of cardboard, duct tape, and paint. The annual cardboard and duct tape boat race across Roth Quad Pond will take place this year on April 28th. The theme for this year's tradition has not been announced yet, and as a side note, the Stony Brook School of Journalism will Facebook Live the event. In Haiti, the death toll has risen to more than 1,300 following the devastation of Hurricane Matthew. the United Nations stated that 1.4 million citizens are in need of humanitarian aid. Relief workers are struggling to reach the hardest hit areas. The Stony Brook men's basketball team is one step closer to the big dance. The Seawolves clinched the America East regular season title on Sunday with a 75-56 win over the University of Maine. Senior Jameel Warney finished with 20 points and 9 rebounds. That stat line made him the third player in America East history to score 2,000 points and grab 1,000 rebounds. The regular season crown will give Stony Brook home court advantage throughout the America East tournament.
The Stony Brook community has more than 25,000 students and more than 2,500 faculty members. The Association of American Universities has ranked Stony Brook among the top 62 research institutions in all of North America, and that's just another statistic on why Stony Brook can go far beyond.
And Stony Brook, they made it 2 wins in a row on Tuesday when they took down Lehigh 62-57. It was Akwazi Yaboa who led the way with 16 points for the Seawolves, and Woodhouse again iced the game away, going 8 for 8 from the free throw line in the final 3 minutes. Beyonce is finally speaking out about her controversial Super Bowl formation performance. In an interview with Elle magazine, the superstar insists that she is not anti-police. Beyonce says she is against police brutality and injustice, which are different issues. The Queen Bee spoke to the magazine to push her new line of sportswear, Ivy Park, which hits stores April 14th.
And that's the news for now. I'm Michelle Toussaint.
And I'm Jim Ferchland. And sets up the beautiful pass to Bastion Stretch for the score, and Hartford advances to the America East Final. And that's all we have for this week's edition of Stony Brook Sports Break. Make sure you tune in 2 weeks from now to recap how Stony Brook sports did over Thanksgiving break. Have a great day, Stony Brook. I'm Jim Ferchland. That's all the time we have for this week's edition of the Stony Brook News. Tune in next week. I'm Jim Ferchland.
I'm Jim Ferchland.
I'm Jim Ferchland. See you next time, Seawolves.